Hello Flosstube, this is Dawn, Frosty X Stitch, and I'm back with the second video because, well, I made the first one and there were so many nice comments and it just, as everybody said, it's addicting. And I've been thinking about doing another video and I wanted to do one last week, but I basically didn't have enough to show you. I didn't stitch that much so that I didn't even know what to tell you, so I could have told you about me, but that's not Flosstube. So I think every 2 weeks or maybe 3 weeks I'll do another video. So I'm back. I hope you stay with me. I hope you go on a journey and see my stitching, and maybe I can, don't know, inspire somebody. I know that I've actually inspired one of my friends by doing cross stitch, and I didn't even know it because I've been doing the 365 days of cross stitch this year on Instagram by just posting one picture every day, and even if it was only that I put in one stitch on one of my projects. And I saw this friend a few days ago. I haven't seen her for, I don't know, about half a year, and she knits socks, and she knits one pair of socks every day. So that's two socks every day. And apparently she got a bit bored and she saw all these pictures that I've been posting, and she went out and bought a kit. She only bought small, I think she bought like these bookmark kits that you get everywhere. I don't know what, I think it's probably Michael's or Walmart that you've got in the US or in the UK. Well, in Switzerland we've got Monor, which is, well, one of those stores where you can get anything, and she got them from there. And she said she started cross stitching, and I didn't even know, and she's really done quite a few of them. And now I think she wants to do a bit more, and I'm going to give her some of my floss, some of my stuff. And there are so many free patterns that she doesn't even have to buy patterns. I know she hasn't got the money to buy patterns. And I don't think she wants a mirabilia. I could give her a mirabilia pattern to stitch, but I think that's not quite her style. So anyway, I want to thank everybody who commented on my first video, who actually watched it and who subscribed. I didn't expect so many to do it. And oh, as Bendy Stitchy would say, we now have Wednesday the 9th of August 2017, and it is, yes, it's 8 minutes past 4 in the afternoon. Well, anyway, so I know that last time the sound and the picture were not so good, and I hope that the sound is a bit better. I'm not sure about the picture, so if this video goes out the same as it did last time, I'm going to get a new webcam. I'm not very happy with this laptop anyway, but yeah, that's just the way it is. So anyway, special thanks to Bendy Stitchy, Michelle, for the shout out that she gave me. And my name is Dawn, as English Dawn. My second name is Sarah. Well, in Switzerland you say Sarah. And my last name is Ramsayer. Now I know that it's not very easy for English speaking people to say Ramsayer. And it's a very Swiss name. It's a Bern name. Well, it comes from our capital city, Bern. And there's lots of Ramsayers in Switzerland. And we actually have a huge history going back for our namesakes. And somebody researched quite a lot, and it's in the archives in Bern. So lots of the families who actually have originated from Switzerland would find their family history in Bern, if anybody is interested. So yeah, that's Bendy Stitchy. The reason why I have an English first name and a very Swiss second name, last name, is because my mum's English. So I am actually half English and I'm half Swiss. And my dad's Swiss. He's Swiss as he can be. Yeah, and my parents wanted to give me the name Thomas if I would have been a boy. They didn't expect a girl, and apparently I was really wild when I was in the stomach, but you know, when my mum was pregnant, and they were actually going to give me the name Typhoon, but they were living in St. Gallen, which is a bit not quite as up to date as Basel is, and they wouldn't have got through with giving me the name Typhoon, so they chose Dawn. And it's actually quite surprising that the Swiss let that happen at that time, because some of the names they don't actually get through. So the Swiss actually tell you can't give that name to your child, so nobody would be able to call their baby Apple. Well, they might be able to do it in Basel now, but probably not in St. Gallen. And then of course, when I was young and I went to kindergarten near Basel in Birsfelden, the other kids couldn't say Dawn. You don't say Dawn. You just can't. It was down, dawn, dawn, whatever. So my parents said, okay, we'll do the second name. We give it the name Sarah. It's written with an H at the end. And so everybody calls me Sarah in Switzerland. Even my Swiss family calls me Sarah. They just don't realise that my real name is Dawn. And when I then started my apprenticeship, I started calling myself Dawn, and they tried to get it through in school. When you do an apprenticeship, you go to school for a few days in a week, and the other time you're in the company where you do your apprenticeship. And there, of course, they couldn't say it. So my boss there just introduced me as Sarah. So I was Sarah in one place and Dawn in the other place, and it's been going on all my life. But yeah, my last name is Ramsayer. But it doesn't matter if you can't say it. Call me Dawn, call me Frosty, that's fine. Then actually another person who gave me a shout out, I think it was yesterday. I was going to watch the video, but I'm quite behind in Flosstube, and Paolo actually sent me a WhatsApp message saying, oh, you've been mentioned again, go and check it out. So I saw that, not my next, but the one after that would have been Case Cross Stitch, and he said, check it out, you're mentioned. And so I went and watched Case Cross Stitch, and she gave me a shout out, and it was a really nice shout out, so thank you very much. Yeah, I actually saw that quite a lot of people then came and watched my channel, so thank you for that. It was really nice and unexpected, so I'll link you below, definitely. Then there's somebody else I want to quickly give a shout out to, just because it came up now this morning. It's Scheserad Stitches, and I've probably said that in German, not in English. And she put out her second Flosstube, I think today or yesterday. And she's got, I saw it on Instagram, I think yesterday or the day before, she's got this kit, and it's an anchor kit with a train, and I really love it because my dad's into trains, model trains, and he builds the trains himself, like the carriages and the engines. And so he's got prints of model trains all around, and I've come to actually like them myself. And she's got this really nice train project. And then I watched her second Flossie video this morning and saw that, so I had to comment because I would really like to stitch that as well. And she's got a caterpillar cushion. Now, I don't know, well, lots of English people will probably know the Hungry Caterpillar story, and that's one of my favourite childhood books that I've still got. And she stitched that for a cushion cover, and the back of the cover is all these little pieces from the book, and I thought it was like really nice, so I'll link you below. So I hope that more people will actually follow you, because I think the stitching that you do is really nice. And she lives in the UK. I'm looking down because I've got lots of notes. Oh yeah, today's Flosstube is brought to you by my favourite cup, mug. which is not true because, as I told you before, I collect mugs. So nearly every mug is my favourite mug. And it's not that I don't have very many mugs that I don't like, because the ones that I don't like I just give away or throw out or give to charity or do whatever. So like I said, it's from my favourite mug, and you'll probably see a new mug every time. And I'm going to drink because I think this is going to be a long one, and if you don't talk like for a day or 2 or 3 because you live alone and you do a Flosstube video, you just have to drink because your mouth goes dry. So that's what happens. So I don't care if people have a problem with it, I just have to do it anyway. And I don't know who said it, but if you give a speech, which I've actually done quite a lot of, or if you give a tutorial, you always have a glass of water standing there that you can drink, because nobody expects you to go on for an hour or in half an hour without having any liquid. It's just not, doesn't make sense. So I'm sorry if I drink. I try not to slurp, but you'll see. Well, now I don't actually have any haul because I'm doing Stitch from Stash, and yeah, there are a few things that I want to buy, but I am still stitching lots of things, so, and I've got a lot of patterns, so I don't actually need to buy anything. So July for me was no expenditure and no finishes, so no credit, but that's fine because I'm in the process of actually ordering Country Cottage Needleworks Santa's Village, and I want to get the whole big piece because I want to put them one next to the other and go over the whole thing, not doing separate ones. And Stephanie from Just Keep Stitching, she said that she's got the pattern but she hasn't got around to starting it yet. Well, I can believe that after seeing all your floss tubes, and especially the last one that you did. I mean, you're doing so many stitches that you can't do it. But Steph has actually joined 2 private sales, and I hope she'll do the Santa's Village with me. That would be quite fun. But easy, Steph, you've got time. I haven't got the pattern yet and I won't start it at the moment, so do your other sales first and we can discuss it then sometime. Then the next start that's going to be in my plans, that I want to try stitching on linen. I haven't done that yet, and of course if I do that I will have to buy more fabric, because at the moment my stash is, when it's a kit, I've got whatever is in the kit, and yeah, I've got lots of Ada, but if I get into linen I'll have to buy linen for my project, and get into dyed linen, hand dyed linen, because I probably won't do it myself, and as I know it's not that cheap, so I don't know, probably, yeah, that'll happen sometime, probably, maybe, who knows. Oh yeah, I wanted to show, I've got Poppy stitched there. I love her to bits. It was really, that was, Paolo got me so motivated so that I stitched a bigger piece than I had for my first piece, and after doing that one I did Poppy, and I started in the middle and I went down. It was just all reds and full crosses, and it was fun, and I started beading, and I didn't see where the problem was with beading. It just, you take the red thread and you just go through the bead and you just do a half stitch and on you go, and you just do your cross stitch, and that was fine. And then I got the chronic. Now, yeah, you then have all these swirls coming along, and then you should actually use the chronic with the beads, and there's so many beads, like bead on the chronic, and yeah, and each bead then goes in a different direction, and then there was this see-through floss, and I just couldn't, for one thing I couldn't even thread my needle, then I couldn't see where I'm going, and I couldn't see where I went, and the beads were going all over the place, so I did that in my own way. I then found a different way to do that, and I might go into that another time. But anyway, I finished her. Because in going up, of course, there was lots of chronic, but using chronic for crosses and not for beading, well, if you do full crosses and then just have one bead on it, it goes. It's fine, but it's not a problem. But if you have these swirls that you don't, it's like back stitching with chronic and then putting on beads, it just doesn't work. I don't know. It just doesn't. Well, it didn't. So I found my own way around, and I enjoyed doing Poppy. And when I finished her, I was over the moon. It was just fantastic. It was such a joy, and that was basically when I really started enjoying cross stitch. And I framed it. It's not properly framed, but it's framed so that I can put it up and see it, and it's special. It is something like really, really special. And so yeah, I should actually get back to September Sapphire Fairy, because yeah, next project, and I want a hanging. So I think you all know what I mean. Okay, I had thrift store find. I think I told you last time that I got some fabric. Just sort of show you, it's all this that I got, but like there's bigger pieces where you can't really see like that, but these were actually tablecloths, so they have sort of stitching in there, but I think you could take it out, it doesn't matter. It's quite a big piece actually. There were lots of small pieces, just this size, and I think these would actually make it's, yeah, you could use them for anything. It doesn't really matter, because I don't know stitch count, but they're gorgeous colours. Don't worry, I won't show you all of it. I've got like yellow and a dark green, orange. Look, this looks yellow. Well, it's actually orange. Like it's like the orange Halloween fabric for the saddle, like needlecraft saddle. It's like that orange, not like what you see. But like I said, I don't know, I can see which is linen, because that's pretty easy to see if it's linen or not. And some of it looks like even weave. And the colours, there's so many colours in there. And I don't need all this, but I know that Paolo would probably like some of it, and two other people that I know who actually already stitch on linen and an even weave. So I'm going to meet up with them, and I'm going to show them, and they can choose what they like, because altogether this actually didn't cost me anything. It cost me, all this probably cost me as much as one piece of hand-dyed fabric would, if I would buy it. So they can choose what they like, and we can actually, Paola has one of these ruler things that you can check out what the count is, but I could do that myself, but I'm going to do it with them. That's going to be a fun meeting, checking all that out. I think it's more fun to do things together if you can. So yeah. Then there's the problem of I don't have a stitching spot. I've got actually a huge flat. I've got a 3-room flat, but I don't have a stitching spot. I stitch in the kitchen, which is here, because I've got the best light. I would like to stitch in my living room, which has natural light. The problem is that we've been having like a really hot summer. We had temperatures of 35 degrees Celsius, and it was just so hot that you can't move. You can't. And I have to have my shutters down all day, every day, and the temperature doesn't go down in the evening, so I can't open the windows and just let air in. It doesn't happen. And we've had bad luck. Basel didn't get very much rain or thunderstorms, and we've basically had a dry time for 2 or 3 months now, with temperatures that were just incredibly high. We're not used to it, we're really not. And thunderstorms were going down all over Switzerland, but they passed by. You could see sort of the clouds going past us like through Germany or on the other side, and no rain. So in Switzerland we're not used to temperatures. Well, we do sometimes have like 30 degrees, but temperatures going over 30 degrees, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen for more than 2 weeks in the summer, and we've been having it for weeks and weeks and weeks now, and we don't have air conditioning. In Switzerland, nobody has air conditioning. We have it in hotels, but I think that's normal. But we're not equipped to have it. I mean, the house I live in is more than 100 years old, and the people who lived here, they didn't have temperatures as high as this. It went up to 27 degrees if it was really, really hot, and you just don't have air conditioning. So there's hardly any way to actually survive temperatures like this. And we had temperature drops of 12 degrees just from one day to the next, and then up it goes again, 12 degrees or 14 degrees, and it was really, really awful. So I can't stitch in my living room because, like I said, the shops are down. At the back here I don't have any sunlight coming in, but I have the overhead light, and that's really good, so I stitch here. But of course I'm stitching on the table, so I have to move it every time I want to eat, or just because you don't want your project out. I would like to set up a stitching spot somewhere. I have an office, but I don't use it as an office at the moment. It's a dumping ground, and there's not a lot of chance that I'm going to clear that out just yet, so who knows. Yeah, I have this lovely panorama up. Somebody commented on it and I love it. It's hand painted by a designer. I actually used to collect art when I had my other job. I used to collect art, and this is one of the pieces that I've got, and I have to put this up because my kitchen's a mess. Well, it's distracting if you want to do a video like I do. You don't want to sort of have a kettle and whatever is behind me. You don't want to see that, so that's why I've got it up. If I ever get a stitching spot, I hope that in the background I'll have pictures hanging up and you can see those, and that's fine. I don't mind you seeing my pictures. As I say, I've got Poppy. I've got something nice up there. That was brought back from Austria, from a hotel that I think my parents went to, and it's got a rooster saying good morning in 8 different languages, and the chickens and little chicks are picking up their food, and that was the table setting that I had for breakfast every morning, and my parents brought it home for me, and I just framed it and put it up. So as you see, I like lots of different things, but I only hang up what I like. So yeah, coming back to mugs, I said that I haven't had a sample. I've never done a sampler yet, like a classic sampler, and I want to do the coffee Quaker sometime, and I would probably do it in colour conversion. There were lots of lovely colour conversions out there that I really, really liked. But there's an Etsy shop that sells mugs, and there's a mug with the coffee Quaker on it. I saw that and I was just, yes, me, buy, and it's US shipping only. I mean, what? I want my mug, because if I see a mug that I like, I have to buy it. It's just, I have to buy it. I have to get it somehow, and it's like, me, US shipping only. Yeah, I know that shipping to Switzerland is expensive, but I would pay it. I don't mind. I would pay it. I want that mug, and yeah, can't believe that. It's a bit of a letdown. So yeah. So okay, I might do the coffee Quaker sometime, but probably not this year. Maybe even not next year. But now I've got, there's by Prairie Schooler, there's the bee sampler, and I have to do a bee sampler. I have to do it, and there was a really lovely one. I think it's a Prairie Schooler bee sampler, and I have to do one because I love honey. I I'm addicted to honey. I need honey for breakfast. I don't like jam. I'll eat jam, like if I have a piece of bread and butter during the day, I put jam on it. Don't mind. I like marmalade. But for breakfast it has to be honey, and I like local honey because I know that where the bees come from. And I need to do a bee sampler. And so I give a shout out to a new Flosstuber. She's got her first video out, and her name is Big Apple Stitching. So go and check her out. She's got, her first video is quite long, but don't let you be put off by it, because she actually has so much nice stuff to show, and I think that she'll be showing us like different things. And she has a working life, and she stitches at home, and yeah, whatever I saw there, it actually, I don't know, I somehow liked her. I don't know what it was, but maybe she reminds me of me when I had my other job. And she showed this lovely bee sample, so go and check her out. I'll link her below. And well, I won't do any other shout outs because I think you all know who you are, like McKenna and Half Stitch, Cross Stitch, all the others. I comment on your videos, so you know that I watch you. Then there was something that I think it was Half Stitch, Cross Stitch mentioned that she's got old needle minders that she made herself that actually have quite a big, like, magnetic thing on it, like that you use for the fridge. And she said that they're old and they sort of lose their grip. Now, I don't know if you know this, but I used to be quite good in physics. So I learned this in physics, that if you have the magnetic poles, and so you have a magnetic needle minder that now, of course, I just don't have one here. Yeah. I have a needle minder, and it's got this little magnet on the back. Now, every time that I drop this from any height, doesn't matter, if I drop it, or if I've got this like on a scroll frame or something, and I let this snap onto it, it'll actually lose some of its magnetic power. And I could go into all the physics of it, but that's what happened. So if you drop your needle minder lots and lots of times, it'll stop working as a needle minder. So be careful when you use them, especially if it's small, tiny little, this is just a tiny little magnet thingy that goes on the back of this. So every time they sort of clonk on like that, they lose a tiny bit of the grip. So if you know that, don't drop them and don't let them clonk. Just as a little, yeah. As I said, I'm a bit know-all, so just ignore it if you don't want to know. Yeah, then I'll show you my whips. I think you all know what the tea and cake style should look like. Mine looks like this at the moment. I've chosen, well, my border is green actually, like really grassy, no, yeah, wood like green. And I've chosen my colours because I didn't have the colours that I called for, and I didn't want to buy anything, so I'm just choosing colours randomly. And at the moment I'm not quite happy, but I'm going to stitch it and then see what happens when I back stitch it. I'm pretty sure it'll be fine once I do the back stitching. Just looks a bit odd at the moment, but we'll see what happens there. Then I said that I've got a height that I'm working on. That's the one that Michelle Garrett likes and I love. I mean, it's just a great pattern. I'll show you how much I've got up to now, and as you can see, it's not that much, but it's so much confetti, and the confetti is like blacks and blues, dark blues and dark blues and dark blues, and it's just, I have about a third of a page, and I don't know how many hours I've stitched on it. And looking at it now, it actually looks really nice, but stitching it just takes for ages, and I haven't even got a page finished. And Michelle is just running along, and she's on her second page, and she might even finish the second page like this week, or yeah, then go on to the third page, and I'm just still stuck on the first page. And okay, I'm doing full crosses on 18 count, but yeah, I don't know if I'll ever finish it. I am going to finish it. I want to hang it up. So, and I stitch in hand. Now that's not a problem if you do something like this. You just hold it however you like and you just stitch. But thank you for stitching Mummy, who did a little show and tell, or a little tutorial how she stitches in hand, and she rolls her projects up. She rolls them the other way, but she rolls her projects and then holds them in her hand and stitches like this. And that was actually really interesting to see, because this is my first big project and now I roll it up, so I don't have to sort of get all this fabric in a bunch and somehow try to hold it and stitch. And showing me that was like really helpful. And on this project I actually used the sewing method, so I go along and come back, and it's really easy. Well, if you have big blobs of the same colour. If it's confetti, it's not quite as easy. But that has helped me quite a lot, so I'll link that tutorial below if somebody's interested. Yeah, so I did no stitching on September Sapphire Fairy because I had this whole thing with my Dimensions Santa. And no stitching on the Dimensions Butterfly, which is on Black Aida. So yeah, I'll show you what happened with my Santa, and some of you might have seen. I posted that on Instagram a few days ago, and yeah, I explain a bit more in detail what happened there, so I'll put that in a little clip. I want to explain in short what has happened here. As you can see, this is a gold dimension kit. It's fully kitted up with thread and Aida that I used because I still see myself a bit of as a beginner, so I just used everything that was in the package. Now this is the picture, and as you can see, it's Santa holding a little bird in his hand with a lantern. Now some of you already have seen the pictures in Instagram, and I want to show you a bit more of what really happened. Now I started off by using the colours like the dark reds, like there and over here, because it said to start in the middle, which was about there, and these are half crosses in white and yellow. And I thought it was strange to start with half crosses when actually the most part is done in full crosses, and I just couldn't really get into it doing the half crosses. So I started there, but then I moved on, and I'm sure I went up, like did that bit first, did a bit of that there, then came down, and I probably went this way with the dark red, leaving the middle out, going dark red down, and then of course carrying my thread over there. It's not that far, and I don't carry my thread actually more than about 10 stitches, but this time I did, and I went over, and I know that I started up going up there and going then with these blue greys there and finished sort of with a bit of that, and doing this part with the dark reddish tones. Somewhere here I made a mistake. and the mistake that I made was 2 full crosses were in the wrong place, and I could not work out where it was. I just couldn't, it didn't make sense. I couldn't find it in a pattern. I just knew it was off. I don't know where it was, and I just noticed this happened about probably half a year ago, because I've been working on this for some time, because, well, put it aside because got fed up, as you know. Sometimes that happens. So I left that part and I went and I did the reds down here, did all this bit, and basically everything that's down here I just went along and I just finished it all up. That's not done there, but it's sort of all these colours sort of tied in, so it made sense. To go down, and there were big colour blocks, which was easy to do in front of the TV and just go along. Now you can see there's full crosses all here. Now these are half stitches, and it's 4 threads used here. These are 2 threads full crosses, these are 4 threads half crosses, so you can actually feel it when you go over it, as these are. And I went up, did the dark blue, and then went up here because this was very easy to do in front of the TV, just go along. And of course it's going to go in more there, but I just decided to sort of stop, put that as a point, and made put in a pin on how far I have to go up, so I could just go along, do these half stitches while watching TV. That was very easy. So then I put in his face, which was lots and lots of different colours, even though you actually can't see the colour changes now very well. But I did that, did all this, did his beard, and I'm pretty sure that his hand is actually as it should be, at the right place. But I then started counting from here, even though I hadn't filled in like the yellow or the pale red there. And I started counting because I wanted to do these half stitches that go out there. Well, I just wanted to do them, I don't know why. So I started counting, and I don't know where I counted from, but all these half stitches that you can see here, going off there onto the side and going up there, all the way up there, they're all off because of the mistake that I made. Now, you can't really see what's wrong if you don't know, but I do. And it's from the lantern out there, it's 6 stitches. Well, if you look at a pattern, it's only going to be 5 stitches. So my whole border is going to be off by 1, which is not too bad. I can deal with that. But everything here in between is wrong as well. So as I already had these stitches in, I had his hand done, and I then wanted to put the bird in. And as this stuff is wrong, I sort of had to put these, don't know if you can see it, but some of these stitches, which are 2 strands, full cross, I actually put over the half stitch, which is 3 strands or 4 strands. Just because I couldn't rip it all out. It was too much, I just couldn't do it, and I didn't know where the mistake was. And I probably would have had to take out too much here as well, so I didn't want to frog it. So I just put them over, and as you can see, there's a full line of yellow white there, half cross. Those are wrong. That shouldn't be there. All these other ones should be further up. So I'm sort of trying to stitch it as it sort of would make sense, but I'm not sure that it does. I'm filling in this. I did all this up here. I had to do a few fudges in there to get it sort of, well, halfway right. And now it might look okay to the naked eye, even to me, it looks pretty fine. But if you then go back to the picture, as you can see, there's lots of back stitching. There's tons of back stitching on this pattern. The whole bird, the bird that you can see there,
there's so much back stitching in the bird, around the bird. There's all this back stitching up there, the whole lantern is back stitched. There's even back stitching there. There you can see there's lots of yellow coming down there, and then you look at my pattern and there's only sort of 1-2 rows of yellow. So you can see it's not right, something's off. So I have no idea how I'm actually going to do the back stitching, because I don't know which point to take to count my back stitching from, or if it will work. But that's going to be a real pain, especially as the part that I need to see there, I cannot see. So I'm just going to, well, first I'm going to finish the stitching, and then I'm going to do the back stitch. And I'm going to take another video when I do the back stitching and tell you more. Well, it hasn't put me off. I'm still going to stitch it, but it's not quite so much fun anymore when you know that you have to be careful what you do. Otherwise it just doesn't make sense. So yeah, I'll do that another time.
I hope you could see what I was trying to show you there, and I'm sure that lots of you have been in similar situations before. Yeah, so that brings me to my plans, and I'm definitely going to get Santa out again. I want to finish him. I want to really get onto it and finish him. I want to do that in August, and I'll do a video when I do the back stitching, if I can actually manage to do the back stitching in a fashion that makes Santa look like Santa, as he should be. Yeah, so, and my other plans, I want to finish one page of my head if I can. I don't know if that'll happen in August or not, it just depends. I try and stitch when I get a bit more than just half an hour to stitch, because just half an hour just doesn't get me anywhere, and I think you know that's why. I'm going to join this new group that Anne P has set up for full coverage projects. I won't actually do every challenge that she has, but I hope to get in a bit more of full coverage pieces if there's a group and I can see what other people are doing. So yeah, now I'll show you a few, not very many, of some of my finishes, and I did another little clip. I hope you enjoy it. I did this little project for the 70th birthday of my mum. This was the pattern, and you'll see the finished object here. Quite enjoyed it, but it took me ages to do. This is just a little pattern I did with Coloris and DMC. This is a pattern I did for somebody who was just moving out into his new home. This is the fully finished object. Quite like this. Did it in my own colours. This was for St. Patrick's Day, just a small finish. This was a little kit for Christmas, but I finished it after Christmas, so I didn't get to hang it up. I did Marmite for my brother, because he just absolutely adores Marmite, and I finished it off, and that was from Purple Thread Design. She's on Etsy, and I did a few of her designs. This was one of them. I stitched it, it was a quite quick stitch, and then finished the project in a frame. So I don't know how long this video has been up until now, because I put in some clips, but I'll stop here and I'll tell you about the name Frosty another time. I know some of you are really quite interested. It's not that special, but I'll tell you sometime, promise. There's another random fact about me. I own 2 Chesterfield sofas, and they're both in suede, One of them's in purple and one of them is in dark red, and I love them to bits. And you might actually see them in one of my next floss tubes. Who knows? I had to buy them. That's something as well. I had to have a Chesterfield sofa. Living in Scotland for half a year, 3/4 of a year, and just being able to put your pint of Guinness on your Chesterfield while you're sitting there in front of the fire, enjoying your pint. I just needed Chesterfield at home, and I don't like leather, so it had to be some sort of fabric. And then I saw this dark red, beautiful suede fabric, and I got it custom made for me. And my second one is half Chesterfield, half monk, and it's in purple suede. I had the money, I could buy it. I did. Sue me. Yeah. So that's it from me, and yeah, happy stitching everybody. Enjoy your week, and I hope the temperatures have gone down where it's been really hot, and I hope that it's got a bit warmer where it's too cold. Yeah, happy stitching everybody.